Speaking of which, my wife and I, we cleaned up all the leaves that had fallen in our yard, in front of our house, etc., this weekend. I don't know what percentage of chat has done that stuff. Probably like, I'd have to imagine it's probably around an even split. They gotta knock that shit out. Knock that shit off, I should say. It had rained for like a week straight. So on the first dry day, we started to get them. The leaf blower does not do well with wet leaves. So we raked that shit up for like 2 hours by hand. Filled up 10, I don't even know how many liters there are. It's probably like 80-liter bags. We filled up 10 80-liter bags with leaves. They don't come to pick it up for like 2 weeks or something like that. So I got to store them in a place where it doesn't rain. And then, like, it took us a couple hours, right, to do this. Looked outside yesterday, especially because our neighbor hasn't done it yet. Looked outside yesterday and I was like, fuck you. You fucking suck. Your yard looks like shit, you piece of garbage. You're disrespecting the whole neighborhood. We're all laughing at you, even though mine looked even worse, like less than 6 hours before. Woke up this morning, looked outside. Can't believe what I saw. 100 million leaves have fallen on the floor. They keep coming, man. They never stop. It's crazy. Then I sent a picture of all of our, like, the bags that we bagged up the leaves in. I sent a picture of them to my mom, and I said, do you guys miss having a yard? And they said, no, but I've done that before, usually while my teenage son was inside playing video games. And I got mad at her. I was like, yeah, I know. That's why this shit sucks so much for me now, is because you didn't instill any discipline in me when I was a kid. You should have been like, get out there and help me. Now at age 34, I would look at this stuff as like, you know, it's just nice to be outside, which is kind of how I looked at it, to be honest. But it's like, come on, Mom, you let me get away with too much as a teenager. And now I'm doing it like the same way with my kid. Like, you know, it's just me, Kate, and Luna, right? So if me and Kate are doing the leaves, she's only 3 years old, so she's got to be outside at least so we can watch her. Not me and Kate like busting our ass on our hands and knees, picking up all these leaves, raking them up, scooping them up, putting them in the bag, and then she's crying on the front step watching her iPad going, I want a smoothie, I want a smoothie. And I'm like, oh my, what the fuck are we doing, man? We ruined our kid already? She just turned 3? She already sounds like a millennial? How are your muster drills on the ship? For anyone that doesn't know, before you get on the, well, after you get on the cruise, you do have to do like a mandatory safety drill. This is how I know that like human beings, at least in North American society, like we're washed. Because every time I've ever been on the cruise, this one was 10 days long. The safety drill, you have to be there, like they check your key card and everything. Every time I've ever done it, all everybody does the whole time is complain. It's literally like the staff is there telling you, in the event of an emergency, come here and listen to us. That's all you have to do. And it's just a bunch of like middle-aged adults that are like just not paying attention, looking at their phone. They're like, we get it. If the ship's gonna collapse and kill us all, grab a life jacket. Okay, fine. Like we could be at the buffet right now. They got, and listen, I have gotten to the point, and it took me a minute to get here. Like the first few times, maybe the first 20 times I flew on an airplane, when they do this safety demonstration, I would make eye contact with the flight attendant. I wanted them to know I'm not on my phone. I'm not reading the in-flight magazine. I'm not trying to start my nap early. People are really trying to start their nap before you even taxi out to the runway, as if like 5 minutes into your sleep, you're not gonna be like just wait 5 seconds. But I don't do that anymore. But I still, Kate's auditing me. She's saying you were playing Slay the Spire. Now, yes. But like for the first 20, I paid attention. I'm just saying that someone, I've realized, especially after there was the fire on the ship that one time, at least one person has to pay attention to the safety announcement. And that's great for me, because that means I'm going to have all the power in a crisis. Person who's trying to go RNA polymerase 5' to 3' in the buffet line, guess what, motherfucker? Oh yeah, the muster station, it's that away. That's where the hole is in the ship. Oh, person who said nice hat when they got in the elevator with me. Hey, come along, we got plenty of space in this lifeboat. Do you like jjajangmyeon? Okay, did we get spotted yesterday? Is that what's happening here? We did go out for jjajangmyeon and champong yesterday, and there was a table of gamers next to us. I know they were gamers. There was 4 adults in their early, maybe like their mid-20s, and they were talking strats. Like, they must have been serious gamers. They were playing like I don't know if it was League, but they were talking about, like, you know, in their scrims, sometimes they need a sub. We like this team. We don't like this team. Like, what are we supposed to do? I have almost reached the point of middle age where I was like gonna go over and ask them, like, hey, notice you're talking about video games. What kind of games do you play? You know, I'm something of a gamer myself. So I don't know if it was the Vancouver Rebellion. But they did it, like, I think they were genuinely serious. I don't know if it was like a Scholastic team, like if they're the UBC League of Legends Golden Griffins or whatever. But there were 3 gamers and then the gamer coach. They had a coach, which means they're at least taking things pretty seriously. Kate will back me up, by the way. I am experiencing suburban dad transformation right now. When I was out handling the leaves, multiple people in our neighborhood came over just to talk to me. Like, I was emitting vibes that other suburbanites find irresistible. One guy came over and he said, you got quite the... Yeah, Kate was out there. They just didn't look at her at all. One guy came over to me and said, you're cultivating quite the mushroom garden there. And I said, yeah, don't remind me. He said, oh, don't worry, they're just fairy rings. And I said, oh, really? Do you know how to get rid of them? And then he looked shocked. Like I said something wrong. And he said, no, but they're harmless. And then there was kind of like an uncomfortable period of silence. And he said, I'm going to the mushroom show at Van Dusen Gardens later today. And I was like, oh, fuck, there you go. I was just trying to make some small talk. All of a sudden, I've angered the Mushroom King. I thought we were bonding over having like a clean garden. And all of a sudden, this dude's like in love with mushrooms or something like that. I'm like, well, son of a bitch. But he seemed, I said, have a good day. He said, have a good day. I don't think he's going to come to my house and kill me or something. But when he said, you've cultivated quite the mushroom garden there, I thought he was teasing me instead. Maybe he was being, like, complimentary. And then, like, another, this was when you were inside, Kate, another woman came over to me and said, hey, we just wanted to say welcome to the neighborhood. How long have you been here? And then I had to say, oh, we moved in like, the end of June. And then she got me cracking up because she said, sorry you moved here like during such a busy time in the neighborhood. And I was like, I said, oh yeah, don't worry, it's okay. But in my head I was like, there's fucking nothing going on, which is what I like about it right now. But like, there's nothing going on. I don't know how little was going on before we moved in, but like this, it's not like a bustling hotspot or anything. I Googled like what to do in Vancouver this weekend, and I told my wife about the mushroom show. I said, you know, there's a mushroom show at Van Dusen. She said, yeah, like we'd go to that. I said, oh, okay. Yeah, I was just joking. I'm not that mushroom pill, but I'm kind of... It's nice to just get out there and do stuff sometimes, you know? It's their duty and their faith. Do they dance or something? No, I think they just, people grow them and then they like bring them and they're like, check out my mushrooms or something. So that is true, by the way. Mushroom Festival, Vancouver, Resident Sleeper. Mushroom Festival, Stardew Valley, Bat Chest. That's what you're like right now. There was another dude who was amazed with your leaf blower. Well, okay, there was an old dude came over and said, hey, you got a battery-powered one. I say, yeah, it's pretty good. He said, how long does it last? And I said, oh, it lasts about 15 minutes, but as you can see, I got a second battery pack just so it doesn't run out on me. And he said, that's pretty smart. Then he pulled out his nuts basically and said, I've got an electric one, but I just use an extension cord to plug it in so it doesn't run out. And I was like, okay, Grandpa, I see you. I see you with the... I'm out here using antiquated battery technology. This guy, he's living in the 30th century. And then, as it always happens in these conversations, it completely petered out. And I said, y'all take care now. And he did. And now, I'm the most popular guy in the whole neighborhood. Kay will tell you, by the way, I'm only like half joking. Like, anybody that walked by me that was over the age of 50, there was like a 99% chance they were going to say something to me. You ever ask these people questions to keep the conversation going? No, but I think you have unlocked the next step. I think I'm pretty good at conversing. But I'm not good at keeping the conversation going forever. If someone introduces themselves to me, usually we have a good time. But in public, normally I'm just minding my own business, right? I think the next step is asking them questions about their lives and then becoming best friends. I honestly wouldn't mind having some old friends. Like, having a toddler is a lot like living with an old person. Like, they have a very structured sleep schedule and they can only do like very pedestrian activities, you know what I mean? I'm just my friends who are like in their 20s and their 30s without kids, what am I gonna do? Corey's 40? Yeah, I know. Corey's gonna come over to our house and we're gonna be like, come on over and play our dinosaur-themed Hungry Hungry Hippos knockoff. By the way, like, it's 7 p.m. and it's bath night, so, you know, take a hint, buddy. You gotta get out of here. I think it'd be kind of sick to have some friends who were like, you know, in their 70s, and they're like, every second Wednesday we get together and play bridge. I could play bridge and, like, you know, I'm sure this shit would start at like 10 a.m. and go till 11:30. They would probably eat lunch at 10:15. Get some gossip around the neighborhood or something like that. Because then after I finish bridge, I could come back to my house and have another lunch. Because typically Kate doesn't eat lunch until like 2:30. Like Prozac, the Canadian cartoon band, said, I'm gonna sleep with myself tonight. No one else can harm me. You guys ever listen to Prozac when they went through their weird abstinence era? Although I'm really quite fond of you, my best intentions never turn out right. I'm gonna sleep with your dad tonight. Sorry.